The KayFabe Smark Podcast.
Welcome to the KayFabe Smark Podcast with Eric Todd and Brian Rampa, your Smart Mark source for news and opinions on the world of professional wrestling.
Hey. It is August 14th. This is episode 12 of the KayFabe Smark Podcast. I am Brian. With me is Eric. Eric, what is going on over there in your world?
Oh, same shit, different day, Brian. You know me, just here to talk about some wrestling. Got a couple things that went on in the wrestling world this week. Got old Stella Marie behind me snoozing and sawing logs, and that's about all I got.
There you go.
What is
that leads us into the big news, sad news.
Very sad news.
We lost Kamala over the last week here.
A legend, a future WWE Hall of Famer, James Sugar Bear Harris, a.k.a. Kamala.
Sitting back this last week, just kind of thinking about Kamala and all those matches and everything. Let's bring that down for a second here so we can talk. The face paint and stuff, they used to scare me as a kid. Like I legit bought in that he was
He was a savage from the jungles of Africa in my mind.
Yes,
in my little 5-year-old mind.
The Ugandan giant, like he was. And then just thinking about matches, the stuff that he did with the Undertaker and the casket match. I don't know if you remember the casket had Kamala's stars and moon on the top on the lid, and he was so scared of the casket. Like he sold that like crazy.
Man, he was great.
Yeah, I loved those just the way that he could sell that with Taker on that casket and the way that he ran around. Saw some old footage of him feuding with Hulk Hogan, which I think I was a little young for. I slightly remember it probably from seeing replays of it, but I'm sure that was, in his heyday was money making there. Him body slamming Andre the Giant, things like that. So Kamala was great.
Well, what was just crazy about it is he started wrestling in like 1975. He had met Bobo Brazil in the Detroit area. He had moved up here to do some work, met Bobo Brazil, got into wrestling, and just wrestled as Sugar Bear Harris for a while. 1982, he just happened to be down in the Memphis area, and Jerry Lawler and Jerry Jarrett decided to book him in a match. And then they realized that, Sugar Bear Harris was the shits. He couldn't wrestle worth a goddamn. So pretty much what was said was that Sugar Bear Harris looked like he had never wrestled a match in his entire life.
Why not roll with it?
Somehow they brainstormed it together, that being Jerry Lawler and Jerry Jarrett, and came up with the Kamala character, which is a African savage who had never wrestled a match in his life. And Kamala fit right in.
he fit that. There was no shame in that game. I remember hearing an interview with Jerry Lawler on a podcast. I want to say it was the Stone Cold podcast. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, he was talking about meeting Kamala for the first time and all that, like you had just explained. And then for the first several months, Jerry Lawler actually painted Kamala's face, and he would paint the stars on his chest and the moon on his belly, and he would do the whole thing every night, while they did their loop around Tennessee and all that for the USWA and all that in the Mid-South. And then one night out of nowhere, Kamala asks, "Mr. Lawler, why do you paint a banana on my stomach?"
A fucking banana.
He's like, "It's a moon," like the stars, the moon, and they kind of laughed about it, and it was just a funny story that I remember. This kind of stuck with me about Kamala, the way that he just kind of was so relaxed. His time in WCW was not of the best, but he was also very, very aged at that point. Not very aged, but pretty beat up from the road, and for a wrestler, pretty aged. So his Dungeon of Doom time.
most of his heyday was in the early 80s,
right.
Touring the territories down south. filmed that vignette really blew him up. He filmed that vignette where he's coming out of the jungles in Africa, which the jungles in Africa were actually Jerry Jarrett's backyard with some blocks of dry ice. But that really put him on the map. In '83, he's down in Mid-South wrestling Andre the Giant. Actually body slammed Andre the Giant on Mid-South TV.
I saw that video pop up on my social media somewhere across the board. I think Tommy Dreamer posted it on Instagram.
And yeah, I mean, now everyone, well, nobody really talks about it now. It's been for so long, but it was such a big deal when Hogan barely scoop slammed Andre at WrestleMania 3. And then you see Kamala just picking that motherfucker up and over. Big time body slam on that boy.
Yeah, both were in better shape at that time to be able to get slammed and do the slam.
But yeah, Kamala's, the way he was booked was just awesome. He debuted in WWF in '84 and left in '84, came back in '86, left in '87, bounced around a few other promotions until '92, came back to WWF in '92 and left in '93, and then that's when he ended up over in WCW in 1995. But the thing with Kamala is, like, he's booked as a beast that nobody can beat, but eventually someone's got to beat him. So,
Right.
You beat him, you get your baby face to beat him,
You
kick
move
him
on.
out of the territory, and then bring him back in a couple years, and there you go. He's a fresh heel.
That was that old school mentality that no overexposure, just like Andre back in the day. For his management, for me, what stands out in my brain for management with Kamala was Kim Chi and then Harvey Whippleman.
Clearly, because Kamala didn't speak English.
Right.
The only words I've heard him speak were, I do fucky. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just look on YouTube, Mean Gene, Kamala rib or backstage or something, and it's just a little behind the scenes footage of Mean Gene Okerlund and Kamala goofing around backstage.
Yeah, so
out of character.
Out of character. Yeah, man, Kamala was great. I loved everything that he did. He was a cool wrestler. He was different. He really sold that crazy monster from the jungle.
Yeah. Did a lot of, after his semi-retirement to go drive a truck, he ended up working some more independents. And do you, Brian, know where he did his last match ever before retirement?
I do. I did my research as well. In 2010.
That kind of surprised me.
In 2010, he did a JCW event with the, who did he partner with? There was they fought the Haters. Oh, he was with Weed Man.
Yeah,
he was with the Weed Man. It was a 6-man tag. And they,
JCW, of course, Juggalo Championship Wrestling. That's Insane Clown Posse's wrestling promotion. It's just crazy to hear that Kamala, this legendary future Hall of Famer, wrestled his last match with the Insane Clown Posse.
Yes, and I'm gonna guess it was at a gathering because it was in mid-August. So I'm going to guess that, but I'm not positive on the event. I can maybe take a guess, Eric. We may have been in attendance.
It is quite possible. But
so,
then he officially retired and lost his leg in 2011 from, problems with high blood pressure and diabetes. It was kind of a downward spiral from there. Wrote a book. I saw him on Kickstarter. It's tough. Life of 80s wrestlers. Things are rough for them after retirement.
They didn't live, or they lived it hard from the stories you hear. They lived a rough, but they spent it as well because they were always going to keep making it, I think, in their heads. That was the story. So seemed like he lived a pretty good life after that, besides getting sick and then, and then losing his leg. And then did he lose his other leg at any point? I remember hearing rumors of it on the internet that he had lost the other leg. And then unfortunately he got sick, reports of corona and COVID, but it can't, that's only purely speculation. If he did, it didn't help with his diabetes and blood pressure and all that stuff.
Yeah, ended up going into cardiac arrest. Supposedly that COVID kind of fucked up the way he was controlling his diabetes and high blood pressure and all that. Went into cardiac arrest on August 9th and ended up passing on later that day. But such a bummer to hear that, man. Nothing but good things have been said about Kamala or James Harris.
Yeah, I loved him as a kid. He scared the hell out of me. As an adult, I respect everything he did. So, hey, this one's for Kamala. So let's get into. Make sure you guys get on over to all our social media platforms. We're going to dive into that. Make sure you check us out. And then on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the KayFabe Smark. Head on over to the KayFabe Smark, and then on all the social media platforms. And also head on over to anchor.fm/KayFabeSmark. You can drop us a question, a joke, a response, anything along those lines. And then also make sure you go on to audibletrial.com/KayFabeSmark. Get yourself a free audiobook, 30-day free trial. Check it out. You get a free book. We get a little money. All is good. Eric, anything before we dive into anything?
No, I'm ready to roll. Just I want you guys to go over there and get your free book so we can get that mailbox money and we can keep giving you the entertainment that you so love.
All right, well, let's get into the question this week. It comes to us from our friend Rich Kramer, good friend of the show. He's got a question. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hey guys, I was wondering what your thoughts were on the cinematic matches that the WWE has been doing. Like, what was it, Braun versus Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker versus AJ Styles. I didn't really like them at first, but they're kind of growing on me. I just wanted to see what you guys thought. Thanks, man.
All right, Rich coming at us with a question. Had a little remix in there, but you're coming at us with what the cinematic matches in WWE and what we have thought of them. We have had responses on them. You can dive back into our archives over at anchor.fm/thekayfabesmark and listen to all those. But real quick, for some of them, I didn't like them. For some of them, I liked them, and we'll peel this apart in little couple layers here. But Eric, what did you think of these cinematic matches? Which ones did you like, and which ones did you hate?
We're gonna go with 0 like and all of them hate. None of them grew on me. I think there's a time and a place for it in a wrestling show where people are supposed to be hating each other and beating the living shit out of each other and having real rivalries. Having a goofy setup fight, no matter what the circumstances is just fucking goofy, and it just belongs. Sure, have it by any means. There's people who want to see it, but give it its own show. Do a YouTube show or something. Just, I don't know. I just think it's stupid as shit.
Now, did you not like them? Let's peel this back a little bit. Did you not like them because you knew that they shot this 17-minute match, we'll give it, in 6 hours, and then this is what they come up with? Or now, if they could have shot something, is it because you knew it was cinematic, you knew it was put together like a movie, you knew it took time, so there had to be cuts and there had to be makeups and adjust the lighting?
Well, I guess to narrow it down and to pretty much make it basic, I guess so, because I hate, the number one thing I hate about wrestling these days is that they shove it down your throat that it's fake, that it's all set up, that it's all choreographed, that everybody knows what's going on. And when you do whether it's a all-night shoot like the Boneyard match, or whether it's a 10-minute shoot like Raw Underground, that just throws it right in your face. This isn't a wrestling match. This isn't a competition. This isn't a sporting event. This is a setup movie fight scene that you would see on USA in 1991. If you stayed up till 2 a.m, you'd see the cheesy fucking bikini movies and action flicks, you know. It's just cheesy bullshit that you know is set up, and it just belongs in a movie format, not in it can't be presented as a sporting competition.
I agree with you. Yeah, I did not like Braun and Bray Wyatt.
That's probably the worst one.
The one that made me laugh was Bray Wyatt and John Cena, because it wasn't led to me. It was led in as a match on the WrestleMania card, but was never put out as a match, really. It was like going through the mind of John Cena, like this whole thing, right? It was kind of weird, and there's really no match. So that was kind of whatever. Made me laugh. There's some funny one-liners in there, and moved on.
Well, if you wanted to say there's one I hated the least, it was that one, because it wasn't presented as a competition, a match, a fight, if you will.
Right. And then, and then AEW did their, what they call it, the Stadium Stampede match. There was funny spots in that I enjoyed, but overall, again, it's just not a competition. So overall, I think the general consensus here at the KayFabe Smark podcast is we did not like the cinematic matches.
Hated it.
So I think we can go on from there, is to state that no, don't care for any of them.
I'm once again, I am all for if they want to do a separate show. Doesn't matter what network it's on. They could put on Pluto TV. Anybody can get a channel on there. Do a whole show of cinematic shit, but
Put it together and package it right.
package it like a movie, like an action show.
Could you
like
imagine if they did this in a live setting, like at a SummerSlam, and then the lights go down and you just got to turn your head or look up at the TV in the middle of where the ice hockey rink, and watch it over the thing and be like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, I paid $100 for the seat. I got to watch something.
Well, yeah, I guess because there's no actual fans there, it kind of gives them the freedom to experiment with things. Hell, nobody's watching anyway. So you might as well get their few 100,000 viewers to chime in on what they like, what they don't like.
Either way, it got the internet talking, and it got the wrestling world a buzz, whether you loved it or hated them. The cinematic matches are the thing of 2020 and the thing to talk about.
And it's trash.
And it's trash. All right, so there we go. Cinematic matches.
You're alone on that one, Mr. Kramer.
Hated it.
And we will move on from that. So sorry, Rich, we didn't side with you too much. Maybe they can work them in and sell them to me differently, and I will buy in. The matches themselves were whatever. I don't like how they were presented to me and how they were sold. So where are we going here from now? Where are we going on now from here, Eric?
I did not get a chance to watch Raw or SmackDown this week, which I'm sure is not a surprise to anybody.
I don't think anybody did. We can look at the ratings.
Yeah, I was kind of curious what would go on with part 2 of Raw Underground, Shane McMahon's little side project.
When the internet's not even talking about it on Wednesday, it must not have been that great. So, that's where I stand on that. But what did you hear? You heard anything about it on the old inner tubes?
Not really. Cornette chimed in on the first week, and he just found it no surprise that Vince loves dancing girls. And whenever you needed a cheap cutaway shot, he just showed dancing girls, and it was just worked horse shit, and it made Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley look good. And
I thought Dolph Ziggler looked good last week too. It just made him show off his true wrestling skills. But I mean, yes, anybody who's a true fighter, it made him look good. That comes from that background. Then they just pull up these random guys, and you didn't know what it was. There's no rules. I just was not interested.
Well, Cornette's main point was that WWE is so they're so quick to tell you, they're dying to tell you that wrestling's fake. It's all entertainment. We're all characters. We're all actors until they need more viewers. And then they show you something completely different, and they're like, no. The rest of it's fake, but this is real. This is real. This is underground. This is no ropes on the ring. This is shitty lighting and dancing girls. This is real, to try and get more viewers in, but then it's clearly fake. You know what I'm saying? It just looked super worked. So I think it's so crazy that they want to tell you their product is real and fake at the same time, and still don't present it correctly. I don't know what's going on over there at Titan Towers. I can't work there, though. I don't think I could book any matches better than them.
I don't think
I
you
mean,
do,
in hindsight, we could.
I
But
don't think you do any worse. I've never
Right,
put
that's
together a
true.
TV show so much, but come on here. We can
I
figure
could
out.
take those cutouts on your back wall there and put on a hell of a card.
Yeah, we can get DiBiase and Hogan. We don't got many.
Money Mania.
Unfortunately, we don't got many left to choose from back there. I think we can get Axe and Smash still back going. And that's about it. Jake, we get Jake in the ring and Brutus. So there you go. We'll put something on there. This right here, got this picture autographed from Jake the Snake. And he had like 4 promos laid out, 4 promo pictures. He goes, which one do you want to get autographed? Which one? Pick one. And I said, the one that you have Macho Man tied up in the ropes with the cobra on his arm. Duh. Like there was a couple other, there was just some regular, like this one here with Okada, that type of picture.
Right, just regular promo flats.
Whoa, yeah. And I was like, this one, I remember this. I remember where I was when I watched it. Like I'm
Me too. I remember they had the censored bar on that one, or was it just when they were showing highlights?
the highlights, like the next week, it had that big
Yeah.
like red X censored. If you don't know what we're talking about, hop onto YouTube, type in Jake the Snake, Macho Man Cobra. I'm sure that will bring it up. And there's this Jake gets this cobra to bite Macho Man's arm. It's all obviously been defanged and everything. Then the story goes that Macho Man wanted Jake to have him bite him in the back to prove that it was devenomized, however you say that. And that, so Jake had to get the snake out and get it to bite his leg. Then Macho Man made him sit there for 30 minutes so he couldn't go get any antidotes or antivenoms to make sure, because nobody was killing me tonight, brother. Like Macho Man really thought somebody was going to kill him out there in front of, I don't know how many people were there, 10,000 people, maybe 8,000 people. I don't know what showed up in the 90s, but whatever, man. Like, you get murdered.
Randy Savage, man, the macho king of paranoia.
Yeah, king of paranoia. Well, NXT really pushing the Pat McAfee thing, obviously, really getting that going. Adam Cole's all hyped up and angry over there on NXT this week. I tuned in for some of that. The Karrion Kross and oh my God, I'm gonna draw a blank live here right on the show. What is that? The champion's name? Bask in his glory. Eric Keith Lee is his name. They had a contract signing, and there was a big flame that came out of the book when Keith Lee opened it, and it didn't even come close to his face. But then he had to have a towel over his eyes, and it was a big whole thing. I recommend watching it. I am excited for TakeOver 30, I believe, is what we're coming up on here during SummerSlam weekend, because they're going to have that ladder match for that U.S. Championship, and there's going to be lots of guys in that are going to be great to see. I think that's going to be really well put together. I have high hopes for that, so we will cross our fingers that is everything that they're leading it up to be over there, but nothing too amazing over there. I'm interested to see how they're going to handle this Pat McAfee, Adam Cole debacle. What do you think?
I still don't get the Pat McAfee, Adam Cole thing. Adam Cole's supposed to be a heel, isn't he? Isn't he supposed to be like the top heel in NXT? Or wasn't that what he played for years?
Kind of like that.
The Stone Cold thing,
Yeah,
anti-hero.
That anti-hero, you either like me or you don't. Let the crowd decide what he is that moment. He'll do heel things, but then people still pop for him and they want to yell, Adam Cole, baby. They want to mark out for him there, but they want to boo him when he'll jump somebody from behind. Adam Cole's just out for Adam Cole, and that's his character. So,
well, yeah, because the Undisputed Era, they're always presented as heels, aren't they?
In a sense, I guess it's like the cool bad guys, though. It's like the outsiders of the NWO. That's the way I take them. They're supposed to be the bad guys, but they get over.
Yeah, because you get McAfee coming in here, and he's just talking heel shit. So it's just in this feud, Adam Cole's the babyface, but Adam Cole rolls with 2 heels, and then McAfee's a heel. And then you're also trying to present WWE always, if they bring in a football player, they always want to make it look like the football player's tougher than the wrestler. But Pat McAfee's a fucking punter. you go to any football team, you look at Jason Hansen on the Detroit Lions. Well, I'm sure he hasn't
Or
kicked a football in a while, but that's basically back the last time I knew who the kicker was for the Lions. But you
highest.
put him out there against Namakan Sue, I
Right.
I don't think a punter or a place kicker is going to kick any wrestler's ass, even one as small as Adam Cole.
Yeah, don't say that. That's what got him all fired up in the beginning.
Oh,
That's
shit,
what
he's coming for me. He's going to throw my microphone around.
he's gonna throw your microphone around and spike it on the ground. And next thing you know, we'll be on NXT, Eric. I can't be getting beat up. I'm only 5'6". I'm smaller than Adam Cole. Don't tell
That's
me.
hard to do.
Yeah. So, NXT they're building towards this their Takeover 30. I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm going to be interested to see how that's going to roll out. Whether it's going to be, you got to watch it, right? You have to watch the Pat McAfee Adam Cole. Like, you have to know what happened. You can't say I didn't watch it. I'll just read the results. Like, you have to see that match because it's either going to be really good or it's going to be the
Or
absolute
a
doodling
complete
shit.
shit show. So either way, it'll be entertaining.
Right. And then that ladder match, and then Keith Lee, Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross character is pretty cool. He's a little over the top for this era of wrestling for me. He would have fit in great in the late 90s when, you believed that people could do magic. But when he can make flames. So Keith Lee opens up the contract book. Nothing happens. They hand it to him. He signs it. They give it back to him. Keith Lee opens it to look at his signature on it, and fire shoots out of it. Like,
Oh, they just stole the fucking fire wallet gimmick that's been all over the internet, or the flash paper cane gimmick, whatever.
it was one of those. It was a fire wallet flash paper deal, and they oversold it. And what are you gonna do?
I guess one question I have, Brian, how do you feel about Keith Lee's character? Because he's so big. He looks like the Incredible Hulk, but he's just the nicest little gentlest teddy bear that you've ever met. He's shaking everybody's hand, and he's got that nice gentle voice. And it's like, don't you think they should toughen him up a little bit if he's going to be destroying these fellas in NXT?
No, I like the two sides to him. He's proven that he can beat somebody's ass. There's no question. He's proven that he can go and he can throw guys around and he can be the mean Keith Lee. But I like that, like, you don't want me to be mean to you, be nice to me. There's like a yin and yang to his personality. There's multiple sides. It gives his character a little depth than always just trying to be on and scary and looking like Brock Lesnar. So you got to bounce around the back of the ring, and then you have to have somebody talk for you because you can't be mean and talk.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see a badass Keith Lee.
Scary and talking, but the option is there, I think. Right now, we're just not seeing it. I think that leaves that option. We're just seeing this side of it in a week or two. I think it's something that he can go in and out of, given the option. I think that I think is there. I just think he's just not giving it to us right now.
Yeah, I just want to believe. I want to believe that he actually hates somebody and that he wants to beat the living fuck out of somebody, not just like, you did pretty good, and I guess you deserve a title shot. We had a good match.
You see that a little
5 years ago, so let's wrestle again.
You see the opposite in him after he gets burnt. He's just screaming, "Where's Cross? Where's Cross?" And he's throwing things, and he's they got the towel over his eyes, and they're leading him out the back, and he grabs like barricades, and he's kicking chairs, and he's screaming. So you see him get mad. But he had to get burnt, and he had to get his eyes burnt off to get mad. So I think it's there. I think we'll just let it evolve, and you can give it back and forth. He's kind of like your pit bull, Eric. Is the way I look at Keith Lee. Like Stella's never scared me anytime I've been around her, but I also wouldn't want to make her mad because I played tug of war with her before.
Yeah, the noises she makes when she's playing tug of war.
The strength she has behind that grip when she's pulling and shaking. You're going, that was my arm. I'd just let her have the arm.
She could de-arm you.
Just take it off.
But yeah, that's a good analogy. Right now, the gentle giant herself is snoring so loud, I'm surprised you can't hear her. But
I've also heard that as well.
She's being the gentle pig right now. But yeah, if she were to hear a knock on the door, all hell would break loose.
So that's my 2 cents on NXT and what we're building to over there with WWE. Probably peel back the layers a little deeper over here on AEW per our usual request, but just a touch deeper. And we can probably move over to that if you want to chat about that.
Yeah, AEW is the most entertaining show I believe on right now. I mean, I could bounce back and forth between NXT, but AEW is the one I keep up with most, I guess. So I've got plenty of notes on that, and I'm ready to roll on AEW when you are.
I'm good. Let's go. Let's let you lead the dance, and I'll fill in the blanks here. So go ahead and start us off with the first match.
Well, guess they've been getting tons of screen time lately, and I don't understand why, but we got the Dork Order going against the Young Bucks.
Super kick.
Oh, yeah. We definitely got to see some super kick party going on. But so you got Pizzeria Uno and Stu Grayson representing the Dork Order this time.
Don't call me Dick Grayson.
No. And I don't know if it was autocorrect or just my fingers went automatically. I wrote Stupid Grayson.
Stupid Grayson.
But the Young Bucks immediately get Pearl Harbored by a bunch of Dork Order schlubs, nameless, fast or masked fucking morons. And just from the get-go, right now it's just looking like a Dork Order lumberjack match because you just got the ring surrounded by a bunch of fucking marks and purple and black masks. But what more can you ask for, right?
I didn't mind. I mean, yeah, okay, they got jumped, and then Pizzeria Uno and Dick Grayson come out, and they get the Bucks in the ring, and then Rick Knox starts the match. Right there. All 4 guys in the ring, ring the bell.
Yep. Rick Knox is a fucking...
I don't want to say I defended him, but I was on the side of Rick Knox for a half a second at one point in my AEW watching, and maybe even on one of our shows here. Check back in the archives at anchor.fm/thekayfabesmark. Smark. And, but, oof.
Rick Knox is a dribbling trainable, in my opinion. But one thing that kind of just fucked me up from the get-go is, our boy Road Warrior Buck, Matt Jackson there, does a flip off the stage, and you got 3 dorks sitting there waiting for him to land on him. He misses all 3 of them. He just barely grazes one of the dorks, and he lands perfectly on his feet, and all 3 of the Dork Order boys just tumble like bowling pins. And I just wish they would
call an audible.
Do something. If you can't do a spot correctly, like, don't fucking do the spot. I'm sure the Young Bucks, they've been wrestling for 15 years. They've been doing gymnastics for probably at least 30. But you're working with a bunch of fucking schlubs who barely graduated high school, let alone wrestling school.
So you're saying if you go for a dive off of the ring, off of the ramp, you miss the guys, they no-sell it. So what? You just turn around, right? And now maybe call an audible and start throwing super kicks like a sumbitch.
Yeah, work from there, especially with 15 years ring experience.
Well, I mean,
the reason or the whole fact that they sold when they didn't even get touched, it was just screams amateur,
Right. Well, I mean, you can't take that too much out on the Bucks. I think you got to take that out on the Dark Order. They can only, if you jump and miss and your guys fall, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Come on, stand them back up and start kicking them again?
Right. I guess I'm putting too much pressure on the Bucks where I'm saying, yeah, you shouldn't have called this spot when you realized who you're working with there.
How hard is it to be? All they're thinking is, all I told you to do is fucking stand right here and let my ass land on your head. Stand
on your mark. Let me hit you guys, and then you fall down. That's all it was.
I'll write you a paycheck.
But Stu Grayson just low pay suicidas Matt Jackson after that, after he lands on his feet. So you just got a whole pile of bucks and fucks down on the ground, writhing in pain.
Overall, on this match, as I was watching it unfold, I thought that the Dark Order, that Pizzeria Uno and Dick Grayson they're looking like a tag team.
Oh yeah, I got that right here after that suicida by Stu Grayson, that they decided, for a while, like, let's start off with our Gaga shit. But let's go ahead and put on a wrestling match for a few minutes. And I was more than sports entertained. I was glad to watch this match for a few minutes in the middle. It was a straight up tag team wrestling match.
The tags were what we look for, actual, legitimate tags on the hand. There's a couple shoulder tags. We're going to do. You can.
You ever notice, though, that Pizzeria Uno cheats like a fucking cartoon character? On 2 separate occasions, you see him unwrapping his wrist, and he's just presenting that tape, the wrist tape, high up in the air and spinning around in circles and showing everybody who will look that, hey, look, I have tape and I'm going to choke the young buck. You know, he's just like a parody of a wrestling heel. You know what I'm saying? He's just
the over-the-top parody.
I wish Rick Knox would have just let him go and not take the tape away from him, because I don't think he would have been able to improvise. What do I do now?
The counting as we're in with this, as we were watching some of the quick tags, the tags in and out, you know, the double teaming that you get from the Bucks. It's what made them famous. You're gonna get it. It happens. The right referee can make it look good, and the wrong referee makes it look bad. Rick Knox was making it look bad. Rick Knox was making it look like there was no rules. And I think that's what takes it away from it. People see that, or at least I notice it. And I like the Bucks.
Yeah, and I think right there in the middle, you had when the wrestling match broke out, you did have the Dork Order looking like a legit tag team. And then after that whole fiasco, the Young Bucks did their normal spot monkey spotlight, but it all looked good. None of it looked overly scripted. Every single spot that they pulled in this little spot fiasco looked like it could have happened in a legit match. People were standing on their marks. They weren't waiting around. And
right.
That's how I like to see the Young Bucks wrestle. You know, do your flips, do your gymnastics, but make them look like they belong there.
And I thought this one wasn't a lot of, but you know, there also wasn't 10 guys or 12 guys like we've seen in the last 2 weeks of a lot of Gaga flying around. So we just had 4 guys in the ring for a tag team match.
Yep. And the Dorks almost win, and partially by trapping Matt Jackson in the tunnel. They have the Dorks hold him in the tunnel, and Rick Knox obviously doesn't care about that. And but
Rick Knox doesn't care. That's fine.
He doesn't care. You can just take a guy in a tunnel and then have your whole team block him off, so it's a handicap match. And
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter at all. But Bald Buck ends up pinning Pizzeria Uno with a sunset roll-up thing after a missed finishing move. And that was it. Bucks win.
Overall, I liked it. Besides if Rick Knox would actually just count and keep the organization in the match and be the other guy, be the odd man in the match, right? Be the third guy, be the fifth guy, whatever you want to call it. Be the guy in the match and keep it organized. We know it's scripted. We know it's pretend. We know, right? So you're not really keeping order like a UFC referee or a boxing referee keeps order in a ring. You're keeping organized so the match makes sense, is the way I look at the referee. All right, guys, you got to get the fuck out the ring here. Like, I'm 7, 8, like, we're going to call I'm going to call an audible and just count you out, and you're just going to lose a match. Like,
everything we've learned about referees from reading books and all that shit about the earpiece and how they're directly connected to Gorilla, and it's their job to be the timekeeper in the ring and to keep things organized. Rick Knox just throws it out the window every single match.
He just looks like a confused old man. Aubrey Edwards does great. I think she has some authority, or feels like there's some authority there. And what's that other doofus in AEW that I just absolutely hate?
Is it the other bald guy?
I can't think of his name now. It's going to drive me nuts. It'll click here in a minute. I'll look it up. But anyways, he just sucks. He just stands there. He doesn't even pretend. At least Rick Knox like attempts to count to 6. This other guy just stands there and like puts his hands in his pocket. And just kind of stands there and chills. It's like Aubrey Edwards, and then hopefully we'll get into the other referee here in a little bit.
But just overall, from the Gaga at the beginning and then Pizzeria Uno cheating like a cartoon character, other than those 2 flaws, a pretty good match. This was a Young Bucks match that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Oh my God! I'm going to sound clip that.
Yeah, there you go.
Note the time. Note the time.
And I'm going to really surprise you this time after this, because we got Wardlow knocking on MJF's door, because MJF's got to take his little walk down to the stage and stand at his podium for this week's campaign promo.
Yes. So, while Eric is organizing his notes on that, I was so excited that I saw that Pro Wrestling Tees and Shop AEW, all the same thing, offers a yard sign, an MJF 2020 Not My Champion yard sign, a button. What else did you get? I think a shirt. And it was only like $25. And I was so geeked, I almost ordered it. But then they're like, it can take up to 10. It's ordered, made to order, take 8 days to get, and then 8 days to make, and then a week to ship. And like, the match is only September 5th. I'm like, I won't want this stuff. I was so mad. I was gonna buy it. It was like $25. It was gonna be well spent.
Wow. I had no idea about this. This is the first time hearing of it, but wait, what a way to drop the ball. They're trying to capitalize on the whole, this is an election year and there's going to be debates and all that. But
Yeah.
when the main match, the conclusion of the feud is happening in like 3 weeks.
It can possibly take up to 2 to 3 weeks to get.
Right. What the fuck would be the point?
And then there was none, and I thought the other thing they dropped the ball on with this is there was no, like the yard sign was real simple, right? 12 by 18, whatever, and just says MJF 2020, Not My Champion, but whatever the little slogan thing, just real simple, then like an AEW logo.
Right.
But there was no like social media free pictures to make my profile picture or to make, you know what I'm saying, to share. There was no clean picture of that image, just to straight up spread around to all the MJF fans that make and share and have and put in their videos or put in their social media, share on Twitter, Instagram, etc. and so on. You can check them out on the KayFabe Smark on all social media platforms. And then, but to use in that type of stuff, or to even bootleg and print it off yourself and put up on a wall. You know what I'm saying? Just there's so much stuff that happens with, like, they didn't even have it ready to made to go make your own. Like, cut your own button. Like, my girls got little button makers. My daughters, I could have printed it off and made a quick button, and wore it on the show. But no, it's going to take 3 weeks to get a stupid thing. Sorry. I was just irritated by that. I thought they really could have done a lot better with this.
Yeah, that's really dropping the ball on the merchandising, which Pro Wrestling Tees is usually on point. They do make their shirts to order for the most part. The one time we visited said store in Chicago, they had tons of shirts on hand. But
right,
usually when you order things, it takes about a week to leave the warehouse.
That's fine. Like, but just on this thing, it should have all been like next day.
There's an expiration date on the feud, especially with AEW. They have ADD and they switch feuds and rivalries every 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I thought it was a little lackluster. I thought they should have had a bunch of them ready, whether it was a limited amount. They would have sold them. They could have just used them, just took them for the pay-per-view and put them all over the front of the, you know what I'm saying? They could have shot something with it. Anyways, I digress. We can talk about the match or talk about the promo.
All right. So MJF finally gets down to his podium. Once again, AEW is working this campaign year, this election year thing into their program hardcore.
Might as well.
Fuck it. And MJF has plenty of shit to sling at Jon Moxley, but this is weird for me to say about MJF because usually I'm on his dick harder than a condom, but week after week, it's basically the same speech. And you're not seeing really anything going on between Mox and MJF. And to me, the shit's starting to get stale. They need to just hurry up and get it over with. I feel like they're going to run this whole campaign thing just right into the ground to the point where no one cares, because people know in their heads that a champion isn't really an electable position, especially if you're trying to present a sports-based, competition. You can't just elect a new champion. So it's like, I think this whole campaign thing is going to fizzle out and nobody's going to care by the time they wrestle.
Yeah, several different options. Again, we're watching, hindsight, right? I can comment the next night and say what would have worked better. Why aren't they having Moxley mock him in a campaign and showing the people love? Now, I know getting people to gather around him is a really hard thing to do right now, so he can't really go actually host a thing or even a staged election speech, right? But they could figure out something to do. They could do it some way or another and make it look like he's, and actually like put him in a goofy suit, but have him like wear it all weird and awkward because all he wears are like jeans and like, he's just such the rebel. Like have him cut the arm off of a suit, the arms off of a suit and spray paint Mox on the back of it and like go out. And,
right. In hindsight, even that's better than what's been going on because what we've been getting is the same stale promos back and forth. MJF, his gimmick is he dresses nice, he's better than you, and he cuts a promo on you. Well, he's cutting basically the same promo on Mox every week. And then when Mox is cutting promos, all he does is find a random junkyard or backstage or boiler room and pace back and forth and act mad and threaten to beat him up. And it's like, okay, so he's cutting the same promo every week. It's just I'm starting not to care.
Yeah. I think you could just take 2 seconds and get a little creative with it. Even if he did a fake Zoom thing where they put some fans or some, actors, I don't care, and made it look like he's giving a speech to everybody on a Zoom meeting or something, and everybody's watching him, and they could do something viral with this, or they could, by viral, I mean a YouTube, Instagram, AEW, something that it's him. I don't know. There's lots of different ideas I think that they could do to keep it fresh and cool and use the campaign thing. You can't have half of it be a campaign thing. So you might as well have Moxley make fun of it and show him that the people like him more. Actually like him more. Because obviously, sorry, too many names getting thrown around here. Obviously, MJF is his stats are fake, right? 5,000% to 0, like obviously, but show the people really all in for him, for Moxley.
Right. Either way, but I feel like we've been talking forever on stupid promos, and the shit's getting stale. But finally, we get a little action between Mox and MJF, and even though it was as fucking predictable as the sunrise, John Moxley's music hits.
Get up to the Voms.
Yeah.
Get to the Voms.
MJF directs his team to go out into the stands, go out into the Voms, and so that they can cut off Moxley. Fucking Ray Charles definitely saw this one coming. He took off his sunglasses and he could see it coming right for him like a fucking train. Once MJF is all alone, Mox comes out of the entrance tunnel. The one thing he never does, and attacks him from behind. We end that segment with MJF selling that his neck is really hurt, and I bet now he's going to try and weasel out of the match.
Now that could be interesting. They could do something interesting with this, so we'll see what happens next week, right? So I think that this could change. It was something that different that happened. It wasn't just MJF talking. Now, Eric, I'm going to let's just play fun here for a second. So you've got about six exits in the VOMs, as they called it, in the stands, and then there's one more entrance, and the last guy, being MJF. You don't think in your head instinctively you would turn around and watch the door?
Why he sent his whole team into the VOMs anyway is just ridiculous. He has, what's he got, like 6 bodyguards or something?
Yeah.
They could have just stood on the outside of the ring. There's only 4 sides to the ring.
Yeah, and there was like 6 guys in there.
Fucking idiots. But it's like it just played out like a bad scripted movie that a 6-year-old could have figured out.
Watching it going,
my God, all his guys are gone. Moxley's gonna come beat him up.
I would go, he's either gonna come from the entrance ramp, like literally, or he's gonna come from under the ring. It was gonna be something, super goofy.
And
it
did exactly that. And that's
and
all
it was. But he did take a beating. He did take a hell of a paradigm shift DDT there. Moxley set him up and spiked him
right on his dome piece.
Right on that dome piece. He probably got a flat head now. But that was pretty cool. So, but we can move on from that.
Yeah. Then we get more goofy shit because Matt Hardy, no more gimmick Matt Hardy. We've got Matthew Hardy, no more gimmicks.
Stronger than death.
I'm wondering, do you think he's professional enough to keep this professional? Or do you think when he actually fights Sammy that he's going to write him a receipt? He's going to go into business for himself and get a little revenge for that chair chucking that happened last week?
Nah. It's Matt Hardy. He's just going to be Matt Hardy and wrestle.
Yeah, because that shit last week, that I don't know. I'm still kind of
You're still up in the air about that, aren't you?
The shit wasn't. I mean, it might have been scripted that he throws a chair, but he chucked it as hard as he could, and
you did get a glimpse of it this week on the corner there, and it didn't look like that traditional blade, like a cross. It kind of looked like a chunk.
Oh yeah,
that chair might have hit him.
I think the chair hit him 100%, and it's just like, if I was Matt Hardy, I would potato that motherfucker a few times, and the next time I saw him.
I mean, he might, I don't think he'll do anything dumb, but I think he might, in the ring, in the moment, I don't think we'll be able to notice it, but he might catch a good, he might go a little harder on a move or two there to keep the new kid in check. But then the oversell of the acting of the referee that happened to be walking by looking like Sammy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I did emphasize that we got no more Damascus, no more fake Matt Hardy. But now he's selling the head injury and he's slipping in and out of the Damascus character. So that Matthew Hardy thing was short-lived. How this referee just has the best timing in the world to be dressed exactly like Sammy Guevara. We're talking leather jacket, backwards hat, same build, same height,
joggers.
And the timing that he just happens to walk in, bouncing like Sammy Guevara while Matt Hardy's cutting a promo on Sammy Guevara. Man, the odds of that happening, man, there's no way. How could that have been set up, though? There's no way a referee is going to get beat up by Matt Hardy.
And then, like, the worst part is you knew he, like, Sammy, and you just went, oh, my God. Like, like, obviously, but, like, it was just so, and then, like, they wouldn't show the face. Such and such referee, and you're like, oh my Lord.
God, that shit was so cheeseball.
It was bad cheese. I let a lot go with wrestling, but come on, guys.
That was so bad. And it's nuts that a legend like Matt Hardy just goes with this shit.
Yeah, why isn't he calling and being like, come on, let's think about this. Like, let's go.
Right. It makes no sense whatsoever, but
isn't that why you would want a guy like Hardy in your federation, your wrestling organization?
You want veterans to be in there and be leaders and make a better product, not just roll with horse shit that the indie fucks are presenting,
Right. Hire me. I'm going to throw out an idea, and you tell me why it sucks, and we can make it better. And then I'll tell you why. And as a fan, I'll tell you why I don't like that. And as a wrestler, you can tell me why we would. And then eventually you come to an agreement, maybe.
Yeah, that's why promotions have bookers, not just you don't just have some fuck from the flea market booking a TV show, and it just seems like they just let all 52 fucks from the flea market book their own matches and spots and put it on a national TV show. They need a head booker. They need to just stick Tully Blanchard in there, stick Arn Anderson in there, stick Dustin Rhodes, Cody. Somebody just needs to be in there who knows what the fuck they're doing and to say no to stupid shit like a referee dressed up like Sammy Guevara.
Right. Now, mind you, people, you can rewind, but please don't. Keep listening or tune back in. But yes, at the top of this segment, Eric stated he likes AEW. It is the most entertaining show that he's seen.
I think that just says a lot for what else is on TV, right?
It's like, I like AEW. It's the most entertaining wrestling show on TV right now. This shit, Jesus, son of a...
I mean, it's matches like the one that's coming up next that make me want to watch every week, though. Cody and Scorpio Sky for the TNT belt. When you have a match like that on the card, I'll sit through some horse shit, but I'm still going to get mad and
still gonna make fun of it.
It's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
But
So let's
You-
move on with that. You want to move on to Scorpio? Or you got
Yeah,
anything to say about
so
that?
I was pissed as hell about the whole stupid ass Matt Hardy Guevara promo thing. But then we get into Cody versus Scorpio Sky for the TNT belt. And look who has joined the referee team. I was kind of excited about this. I don't get
Yes.
excited for referees much, but I've always liked this fella,
Mike Chioda.
Mike Chioda, who recently got released from WWE.
Yeah. They made it weird. We're going to kind of jump ahead just for a half second in the show as we talk about it here. Jericho states, maybe I can get you a job here. And then referee Aubrey Edwards puts, it was a great night having you join us, as our special referee this evening. So I don't know if it's 100% that he's all in with AEW at the moment, the way that it's being led in the story, at least that's being told. Like I said, Aubrey Edwards posted that on Instagram, like, great to have you tonight, as our special guest. So, but all I'm saying is in my head is if he's not 100% signed to an agreement or a contract and he's working off of a handshake right now, he can't go back to WWE. even if they open up their live shows again and they need more referees on staff, he went and parted with the bad guys, right?
I don't know. I was thinking almost the opposite. I think it was stupid to put him on TV without signing him to a contract because Vince could say a big fuck you to Tony Khan and bring back Mike Chioda. Mike Chioda is not a Vicky Guerrero where, nobody gives a shit. Mike Chioda he is an Earl Hebner.
I agree with you.
He's a referee everybody knows. So if Vince could bring Mike Chioda back after he did a spot show with AEW, man, that would be a huge middle finger.
Oh yeah, but just again though, it doesn't matter. Vince is Vince, and anybody's always welcome back. Hulk Hogan turned on him, left, got into whatever, went on trial against for the steroid thing, and then fuck it, you want to come back? Come on back.
Yeah, I mean, Hulk Hogan comes with millions of dollars.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Vince has been known to let some shit go.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
you get Mike Chioda in the AEW Dynamite TNT Dynamite Championship. What do they call this? TV? Is it like a TV?
I think it's just a TNT Television Championship or something like to that effect. But anyway, the new belt looks dope as fuck.
Yes.
Apparently, from what we see, if we jump ahead a few seconds here, when Brody Lee cuts a promo with the original tin can belt, I'm thinking that was just a prototype, and Cody is now carrying the real deal. Nice red leather on it, gold plating, looks pretty sick. I like it. But I'm pumped more so than the gold belt actually being debuted. I'm pumped that Cody, who makes every single match a 50-50, any schlub from any independent wrestling promotion can keep up with him and give him a tough match. I know we're going to see that match tonight, but actually with somebody who deserves it and somebody who's on his level, Scorpio Sky, who's fucking amazing in my opinion.
Right. That's something you can buy and believe when he's going to go toe to toe with somebody, and take it to the next level. It can't be like it. You went and ruined it. You kind of I hadn't put it together as early as you had that everything was an amazing match with Cody or these guys were all amazing, and I was like, it would have clicked. You just clicked for you probably about 2 weeks, 3 weeks earlier than it was clicking for me, and I was like, damn. You went and ruined that shit for me.
I feel like for some reason, if you put Cody Rhodes in a match against Marco Stunt, it would be a 20-minute fucking 50-50 match. And it just doesn't need that shit doesn't need to happen every single match. There has to be jobbers, and especially if you're promoting Cody as a top guy. But I digress. I short notes on this one because I love to bitch, and there wasn't much to bitch about this one. This is a match that everybody else should have been sat down and given a bowl of popcorn, and Tony Khan or whoever's booking the shit back there should have said, take notes on this match and learn how to fucking wrestle. This is what you guys need to be doing. This match was fantastic. Loved it.
Yeah, I liked it too. It didn't have too much bullshit. It didn't have too much outside the ring stuff where you're like, Okay, the 6 count, 7, 10, like, the counts are not quite 10 counts, and we get that, so I can move on and let a little bit of that go. Nothing too obnoxious with that stuff there. The back and forth between these two was good. How, Cody kind of showing off a little bit, kind of being that good heel show off, I'm the shit kind of guy, and then Scorpio Sky not getting in the ring when he held the ropes open for him. Things like that. Those were all great. It had a big fight feel to it. I wish that they would have had that happen. I'm going to jump back a little bit, but when so Scorpio comes out and he kicks through the door. He's kicking doors down, right? It was kind of the thing with he comes through the tunnel with the door and he kicks the door.
Right.
And then you get Cody coming out with his whole posse with QT Marshall and his girlfriend, and then you got Brandy and you got Arn and you got Dustin and the whole nine, and they got the flag with his logo on it like they're in the UFC, and doing the whole thing. It would have been cool to see SCU maybe come down with their boy. And
Yeah, that was kind of
everybody
weird.
in the ring and like have an SCU kind of, American Nightmare family standoff, and then everybody can leave. They don't need to be out in the ring. They don't even need to be out there. SCU splits. Everybody else splits like they did for Dustin, except for his wife and Arn Anderson, which is fine.
Yeah, they did that really well. A little further on in the show, we do get a few camera shots of Frankie Kazarian just sitting in the audience by himself. So I don't know if they're teasing something later on with SCU breaking up or what, but Christopher Daniels was nowhere to be seen. So it was Scorpio Sky on his own.
I just thought they could have kind of had that bigger fight feel to
Oh, for sure.
It was still a great match. Like I said, lots of action. These two are great athletes, and they put on a clinic. And if you got it on your DVR, punch it up, go back, watch it, and sit back and enjoy it because they put on a clinic.
Yeah, the psychology in this match worked really well too, because you do have Cody can, try to be a heel all he wants, but he said it himself. He's not a heel. He's not a babyface, but being the executive vice president of the company and holding that belt and everybody loving him, he's a babyface. So this was a babyface versus babyface match, but you got to see a little bit of an edge on Scorpio Sky with what you previously mentioned, Cody trying to hold the ropes for him, like, come on, let's have a good sporting competition. And nope. And Scorpio Sky pulling the dirty moves with Cody against the ring post.
Oh, yeah. Slamming him into it.
Slamming him into the ring post. And I know I'm all over the place now, but you mentioned the Nightmare family coming out with Cody. This is just the shit people need to look at and write letters or something to AEW. Allie, QT Marshall's girlfriend, is just
Marshall.
a perfect. All right. Cornette said 100% when he worked back, I think it was in Impact or TNA, when he worked with QT would correct people. It's Marshall. It's not Marshall. So it was always known as Marshall, and everybody in AEW just calls him Marshall.
QT Marshall.
But anyway, Allie was Allie for like a couple weeks in the beginning. She was just a wrestler. And then all of a sudden, Allie disappears, and she's the bunny with the butcher and the blade. And now she just, without any explanation, she disappears from the butcher and the blade. And now she's Allie again. But now, for some reason, without any explanation, she's fucking QT Marshall. And there was a little halfway beef with her and Brandy. But now she's just rolling with QT. And it's just like, somebody needs to take their goddamn Ritalin over there and decide what the fuck they're doing. I don't know who's booking this shit.
Who's booking this shit? Who booked this shit?
But anyway,
I thought there's going to be something, I digress again, but you got me off on a tangent and thinking, I thought there was going to be something cool with the QT Marshall, like, because Allie kept was distracting QT Marshall from being involved in rooting for the Nightmare family, whether it was Dustin or being missing tag team stuff and not having his head in the game and not watching Cody. And I thought I was going to split him from the crew or they were going to have some type of feud, or they were going to come to a head on it. And it was like, it was leading. I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. It's kind of awkward. This chick's making it awkward. Like, yeah, I'd probably forget my best friend's name too if she was hanging on me. And
Just something.
then it kind of was like, we don't like each other. And then she gets mad and he gets mad and he gets her coat and she wears, QT's coat. And then now her and Brandy tag team and they like each other, but they win, or they hate each other, but they win. So it's like, again,
it's just everything starts and fizzles. And it's just like, all right, you don't have time to latch onto a storyline because they're just going to yank a main character out of it and throw her somewhere else. But anyway, that just takes away, all that shit takes away from the definite match of the night here. And Scorpio, that was a hell of a superplex he took. I didn't like how easily he played along with it, how he, climbed up the rope so well. Well, just how easily Cody got him to stand on the top rope and jump with it.
Didn't have to give him any rib shots or anything.
Nothing like that. But as soon as he hits the mat, he turned it into a small package, and I thought that was smooth. I thought that was a nice little reversal.
The only thing I wish, obviously they didn't go with the 1, 2, 3 on it, so the only thing I wish is that after the kick out, he showed that it took something out of him.
Right. He no-sold it.
He no-sold it post that. So he could have taken it and turned that into a quick pin. I'm all with that. And then as soon as the kick out happens, it should have been like a 3 seconds, 5 seconds of him just laying there on the ground. Like, oh, that took everything I had. I took that to do that, and now I'm done. And him and Cody could have both laid there for a second and like, the old school, I forget whose book I was reading or listening to, was like, when you think you're going slower, slow down. And it was like that same thing. They could have slowed down a little bit right there.
Yeah, so no sell on a superplex, but
Cody ends
up, it takes 2 crossroads to put Scorpio down, which I'm not a huge fan of multiple finishers, but in this case, if anyone deserves 2 finishers and to keep up with Cody, it's Scorpio Sky. They are on the same level.
Well, you know what? I like this match so much, I'm going to give it a...
This is such good shit.
Yeah, this beat anything on WWE TV this week or AEW TV.
Yes, this was great. And what else we got coming up? What was after that?
Well, right after that match, we get Brody Lee on the big screen, as we previously mentioned. He's cutting a promo on Cody. He's got the prototype TNT belt. Tells Cody to put some respect on his name.
He did come out Birdman. Put some respect on my name.
And says to put some respect on Dork Order's name, and says that once he beats Cody for that belt, he'll take the gold one, and he'll be a nice guy and give Cody the 10-can belt back.
Yes. Now, mind you, this is going to be next Saturday, as AEW Dynamite will be interrupted by some NBA basketball. So it'll be on the 22nd. You'll have to tune in and watch that match.
Coincidentally, is SummerSlam the 23rd?
I want to say that. Let's live right here on the show. SummerSlam 2020. Here we go. August 23rd, which puts that going up against NXT on the 22nd.
What a coinky dink.
The 22nd. AEW gets interrupted by some basketball, puts their show on a Saturday, a free show, if you will, against NXT on the network with their big NXT 30 pay-per-view or special event. I don't know what we call it. I feel so weird calling it a pay-per-view.
Interesting, because TNT and AEW, they don't control the basketball games and when the basketball games are shown, but
yeah, they can't change that schedule around, because I was thinking about that when they said that they were getting interrupted for that. I'm going, Nitro was on for, I forget how long they were on. We'll just go with 83 weeks, right?
Right.
Never got interrupted.
Well, I don't know. I think basketball always seems to beat wrestling nowadays.
They never put a game on Mondays. The NBA said, "Whoa, can't have that time slot on TNT."
But I'm sure that Dynamite could have went on Thursday, could have went on Friday.
They could have probably went on Wednesday. They said, go ahead and have our Wednesday slot. We'll take Saturday.
Yeah. So
Coincidentally.
yeah. So that was a little I wasn't sure if SummerSlam was that Sunday, and then you put the cherry on top of the Sunday by mentioning NXT's show going on Saturday. So yeah.
There you
No
go.
war. No war.
No war. No war. It's all good.
But
Brody Lee's promo was pretty intense. It was good. It was he comes with it. Hopefully the match is as good as he can lead it up to, right? That's another one that Cody can go all in with and make him look amazing because, well, he's about 10 inches taller than him and got 100 pounds on him. And he's going to need to pull out all the stops, and he's going to get beat up, and he can beat him up too. But, it's going to be one that you can lay it all on the line for.
right. And it's one that I truly don't know who's going to win. I know it would still be a short time for Cody if he were to drop the belt right now, but I could see him putting it on Brody. He
cool.
definitely would deserve a mid-card title. He doesn't deserve to be world champion, but I could see him holding that TNT belt.
It would be cool to see it go Broadway.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. That'd be really nice. Little
any
hit the time limit.
Non-wrestling all inners like us, 1%ers, the Broadway would be just going the time limit. So whether it's a 15, 30-minute, 60-minute time limit, just going, and then that doesn't make, I think you're letting Brody walk away looking good. Just couldn't get the job done in the time frame, and Cody gets to hold on to the belt.
I think that would be the best way to book it, but we shall see. But I am still wondering,
what do I know?
Why the Dork Order gets so much screen time. Like, I understand there's like 15, 20 people in the fucking group, but do you think they're taking surveys to see what people like? Is this their core audience, the type of people who would join the Dork Order? Just schlubs like Schmuck Taylor getting rides to the mall from their mom and eating Hot Pockets in the basement? And the type of people the Dork Order would recruit, is that the core AEW audience right now?
I don't know.
I can't think of who else the Dork Order would be so popular with that you want to dedicate fucking like 45 minutes of a 2-hour show to the Dork Order.
I think it's just they got a lot of guys and they're trying to get them over, and that's just that. I don't think it's anything more than that. I think it just happens to be a stable that has a bunch of guys and then a decent tag team, and their leader is pretty strong in the singles realm.
Well, it stinks. I'm tired of seeing them.
Well, it stinks. It stinks, and I don't like it.
Well, we move on to another decent match. We've got the AEW tag team titles on the line. We got Paige and Omega versus Jurassic Express with, of course, Marco Stunt.
Yes. I did like how Jim Ross gave him shit. He can't keep getting involved. And even Taz's like, he can't keep getting involved. I am sick of Marco Stunt. I like his hat, but I'm sick of Marco Stunt. That was Taz's quote. I like that. And he's like, what did he think he wasn't going to get he wasn't going to get punched by sticking his nose in the business, or you stick your nose in people's business, you think it's not going to get punched? Something along those lines.
Yeah. If you stick your nose in, your nose will get slapped off or something to that effect. But anyway, enough misquotes from us. But did you hear Deucesaurus yell at the camera?
No.
Oh my God. He yelled at the camera and he sounds exactly like Johnny Lawrence from The Karate Kid. He's just got that high-pitched, oh yeah, we're going to win. Well, he's like supposed to be 6'7" and 280-pound dinosaur that's 65 million years old. He needs to just keep his fucking mouth shut from now on.
Just roar.
You can't talk if he sounds just like Marco Stunt. That dinosaur's body, it's ridiculous. But of course, that little shit, he's just interfering from the beginning, just like you said. He's sticking his nose in other people's business. And this is another babyface versus babyface match. And Marco wants to do heel shit and try and cheat and try and grab people's ankles. And he doesn't belong in the wrestling business. He's just here to play wrestle time with his buddies. And he just, I don't know, be another wardrobe coordinator or merchandise designer or something. Just keep him the fuck out of the ring. He has no business being here.
I hated the spot. I don't have much on this match, but I know I hated the spot that Dushasaurus, as you so lovely call him, picks him up, and whoever was the referee, I do not remember. Oh, was it Paul Turner? Paul Turner's the other ref.
Paul
I hate
Turner.
AEW. Oh, I hate Paul Turner. He's the one that just puts his hands in his pockets. I don't know. Was he the ref in this match or was it Rick Knox? Regardless, just getting so distracted by whatever was happening behind that Luchasaurus can walk around the ring and carry Marco Stunt and then throw him over. It was just, but the timing was so slow that it didn't make sense for the ref to be looking that way anymore.
I mean, thank God they put the stupidest ref in the business in there. I guess we can believe that he fucking saw a quarter on the ground or something. Or, oh, look, a reflection.
A shiny nickel.
A fucking window to lick. But I think Jungle Boy and Dushasaurus,
I like Jungle Boy.
What they do well is they use their size difference very well for tag team things. Lots of double team moves where Dushasaurus uses his power, Jungle Boy uses his agility, and I think that's entertaining as hell, and they do well there. Now, on the other side of the ring, we've got Adam Page and Kenny Omega, Twinkle Toes McFingerbang as I know you don't listen to Cornette, but Cornette is my favorite commentator on wrestling.
I know you called them Twinkle Toes and Jazz Hands or whatever. It gets into this.
Yeah, Jazz Hands, but now it's Twinkle Toes McFingerbang. And but anyway, this match shows why Adam Page should be out on his own as a single star. When Kenny Omega's in there, it just looks like choreographed moves. If you notice, this was eating me alive. Anytime he's setting up to do a move, there's a hesitation before he does anything. And it's almost like he's trying to get his feet set and he's trying to make sure it's perfect, trying to make sure it looks good. Whereas you get Adam Page in there and it's just fluid. It's just, it looks like he's in there just to fuck people up and to fight, and it moves real smooth and it's just bam, 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 bam. Omega just has to stop before a suplex, stop before this, and I don't know. It just looks like he's doing a dance and he just wants to look good.
I have a feeling, I'm just going to riff because it looks like Adam Page is the cowboy that he sells this cowboy shit thing. Like he is that strong. That is the character that he's selling. You know, obviously it's him turned up to 11. But man, I think if you botch or he misses a clothesline and it doesn't quite knock you down right, he's just going to grab you, whip you off the ropes, and you're not going to have to sell the second one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You could go, oh, he didn't get all of that, and the commentators could call it. Well, he didn't get all of that because he's going to do it again, but set it up and do it and just grab you and whip you. Because as you're going to try and sell a half a clothesline, he'll just be like, fuck it. And he'll turn you inside out for real.
Whereas Omega has a script in his head. And if he botches a clothesline or something, he's just going to hope something happens and move to the next backflip or Pele kick or whatever the fuck.
I did like the Kenny catch that he did for the tope, the lope, the mid-rope suicida. He caught Jungle Boy and then just threw him right into a Snapdragon.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool because you get sick of the dive, catch me, suicida shit. And it was like he just grabbed him and held on to him. And more or less, he saved him from going head first and decapitating himself on the ring guard there. And the
Jungle Boy, that goes back to if you can't do something right, don't fucking do it, because
something was off there.
Could have killed himself, man.
Whether Kenny was in the wrong spot or Jungle Boy doing something he shouldn't be doing, nonetheless, Kenny snatched him out of the air, then threw him into a Snapdragon. That was pretty cool. I like that spot.
And the one time I liked seeing Marco Stunt here, he's out there, he's on the floor outside the ring doing his best impression of a Chucky doll. You get the camera close up of him and he's just saying a little cackling going on. And he gets a nice dragon suplex for his troubles. And it looked like he took it hard, man. It looked like he smacked his shoulder and his neck pretty hard on those wrestling mats.
Take one for the road, kid. So that was pretty cool. I like those spots. This match was a tag team match that was a little clunky to me, and I wasn't very excited to watch.
Yeah, it was pretty clunky. Star of the match, Adam Page, by far. Jungle Boy can be something, but he's very small too. And he's green as shit. But I think he can definitely do something.
This is where the junior championships would come into play for Eric in our conversation from last week's question of the week for AEW adding championships. Head back over and check out the show last week. Talk about that. But a junior championship, this is where a Jungle Boy could come in and shine a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Jungle Boy, a little more experience, maybe a mentor or two behind him. And you still there? So, yeah, pretty much Adam Page was the star of this shit show. He was the only thing good that I saw, but Omega and Page retain their championship belts. They win with the last call. And, man, I like that finishing move, though. That's pretty smooth.
Finishing move is good. Kenny has his ups and downs for me. I liked Kenny a lot from New Japan. I was excited to see him come over here into the States and show off a little bit, if you will. And haven't quite got that Kenny out of him yet, so I don't know if they're just going on if he's trying a new thing or what it is, or if the guys over there really just made him Kenny. But hopefully we get that out of him. Adam Page is the next sumbitch in the business, coming out, creeping on the come up. So hopefully we'll see more out of that, and then we'll just, keep our fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, I can't wait till he breaks off on his own and at least maybe see him go after the TNT title. I don't think he's ready to carry the top championship in the company yet, but I think he deserves a belt, but he doesn't need to be tied down to a tag team, and he doesn't need to be tied down to Kenny Olivier.
Yeah, even if he has some good runs at some challenges for it after retaining or getting some clout with the TNT championship or something else, he can have some attempts at it, but I don't know if he's ready to run and carry the company yet. But I digress, and we shall move on.
And we are on to another promo, another useless promo, if you ask me. Why they're pushing these, again, cartoon characters, Santana and Ortiz, and best friends.
Oh, was this the putting their stuff in the shower or whatever?
This is the goofiest preschool kindergarten rivalry shit I've ever seen. But yeah, we get Santana and Ortiz. They cut a promo on the best friends and empty their suitcases into the shower, pour bleach all over them, turn on the shower, and they're like, "Girl, watch your shit better," or whatever. And that's about it.
Yeah. Next.
From there, we go to break. Then we come back from break, and we've got the Young Bucks and the Rock and Roll Express in the ring, along with FTR, with Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
Boy, who saw that coming?
Seeing as how it's Tag Team Appreciation Night, and they were like, "Oh my God, the Rock and Roll Express is going to be here."
And you've got the original Young Bucks and the original FTR.
Right, pretty much. That's the way they bill it anyway.
I thought it was. It's always cool to see some old timers get out and get to chat it up. It was awkward. The flow was a little rough on this in the beginning. The Young Bucks got it back, and then FTR did okay. That whole Tully Blanchard thing to me,
it was a little weird. What I did like about it is from the beginning, it was just an 8-man circle jerk. You got the Young Bucks jerking off Rock and Roll Express. You got the Rock and Roll Express jerking off the Young Bucks. And then you got the same thing going on with Arn Anderson and FTR. And Tully Blanchard jumps in there and lets everybody know that neither the Young Bucks or FTR are the best tag team wrestlers or tag team in the
without
business.
a belt.
Neither one of them have the championship belts. So how can they be the best? But let's see, Arn disappears after.
That was weird. So Tully goes on a rant and says, "You interfered in a match with my guy," and he's poking Arn in the chest, and I don't understand this, and he's hitting the American Nightmare logo and all that jazz. And then fucking what's his dick comes wandering out.
I can't remember his name. I just know the chairman, right?
The chairman, yeah, I forget it was whatever. And so he comes wandering out with this weird look on his face, and then Arn goes, "I see where this is going," and he leaves.
Yeah, so this was a little clunky. This was as clunky as the fucking fucking last match we just watched. But why are we pushing a Tully Blanchard Arn Anderson feud? We know neither one of their old asses is gonna get in there.
Is he
and
trying
do
to?
anything?
I don't know if they're trying to get Cody to, and then I really bought though when Dax, God, the new names throw me off.
Dax is the bald guy.
Yeah,
and then Cash has hair. Yeah.
So he sold me on the knee thing again. I thought he jacked it up for real, like he was down, and I bought hook, line, and sinker. I went, son of a bitch.
He had me for a half a second. Because I'm like, this is the most fragile man. Leave it to fucking AEW to pick up the best tag team in the business in the motherfucker.
Kevin Nash knee.
Yeah.
And then boom, he's up. They attack Rock and Roll, spike pile driver.
Ricky Morton takes a nice spike pile driver, man.
Yeah, for being like
68 years old. He got his legs straight up in the air.
That's being nice. I think he literally hit his age.
And they're still, man, they're out there doing the Terry Funk shit where they're wrestling into their late 60s, early 70s. If you remember, just last year they won the NWA Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, they'll run over there. So what the hell? God bless them. Keep doing what you do. This promo was weird. Tag team appreciation. I don't know. And then I don't know.
But FTR, at least
they got the heat on them.
Heel buttons a little bit, and they got some heat because things were getting a little too friendly over there. Where FTR is supposed to be the top heels in the business, and they're just bumping shoulders and jerking each other off with every babyface team on the roster. So things were getting a little too nice over there. FTR shakes it up a little bit, pile drives a senior citizen, and nothing really happened after that. Kenny Omega and Adam Page come out, and they're like, "Oh, what'd you do?" And FTR's just like, yeah, sorry, guys. What do you want us to do? We're bad guys.
We're bad guys. We do bad guy things. So, yeah, that was that. I thought we could have done it better or done without it, but what the heck? So...
I thought you were going to say, what the heck do I know?
Yeah.
And I was going to say more than Alex Marvez because he's in our next segment here. And this is about the most clueless motherfucker I've ever met. But luckily he didn't have too much to say. It was just him in the back with Mike Chioda.
Oh, yeah. This is leading up to the Orange Cassidy thing and with Jericho. Jericho calling him a Kiki. I thought that was funny.
That was funny. But again... to keep going back to the same well where this is supposed to be believable shit. No doubt about it. Jericho is one of the best wrestlers in the business. Even now he's kind of fat and out of shape and 50 years old. He can still move and he can still put on a great match and he's still a top guy in the entire business. But he interrupts this little interview with Mike Chioda to strong arm him being Mike Chioda, into cheating for him. And I'm wondering in what world, what universe would Jericho feel the need to make the referee cheat so that he can beat Orange Cassidy? The Jericho I know is confident enough to where he can just beat Orange Cassidy with a fucking blindfold on.
Right.
He's done confidence angles with fucking
everybody.
Well, yeah, and the one I'm thinking of the most is Jungle Boy.
Oh, yes.
He's like, I can beat you in fucking 30 seconds or whatever the hell that gimmick
you can't
was.
last 10 minutes with me.
Right. But now all of a sudden he's so shook about Pockets, Orange Cassidy, that he needs Mike Chioda to cheat for him. And I didn't come the fuck on, Jericho.
Well, and then I didn't like the fact that they pushed Chioda as in he'd already been out for the night.
Right.
So then they were like, "Oh, we needed a special referee for this match." Well, no, evidently needed a special referee for 2 matches because you got him coming back out. So it was just weird. And then he's like, "I can get you a job," but it's like he's already refereed 1 match and he's gonna referee another one. I think he's got a job. So
When he said maybe I can get your job back again, what I was hoping for, because for a half second in my brain, the way it registered was maybe I can get your job back at WWE
back up north.
because this place sucks. So that
Yeah,
would have
that
been a
it was-
great heel thing to say as Jericho.
right. It was
but
weird, and I didn't like that whole thing when they came back to the referee and this and that. So then that leads us out to that match, doesn't it?
No, you missed a very important match, Brian
That's right.
Rampa. You missed Sheeta versus Heather Monroe.
Okay, and then after that we had Orange Cassidy.
Now, I only stayed on this Sheeta match or Heather Monroe match just long enough to see Heather Monroe's hideous. I'm no fucking fashion expert because I'm wearing a red or a black t-shirt every single week. But this was the most hideous ring attire I've ever seen on a female wrestler, and that's including Fabulous Moolah. This bitch looked like she went to the Goodwill and fucking raided the fucking clearance rack for a hot pink one-piece bathing suit, some old worn-down nurse shoes, and some leg warmers. My God, this bitch just looked like trash, man.
I let this
And-
match play so I could go in the kitchen and make a keto mug cake, and I did that while this was playing, so I didn't miss anything. So I could
Yeah, and that was about 2 minutes, so great timing on that one. But anyway, Sheeta retains. I don't think anyone was debating that one.
the other girl didn't win.
And then we get another promo. This time it's Jake the Snake Roberts. And again, this time it's just more garbage. We got
Yeah.
Jake the Snake Roberts cutting a promo in the locker room while Lance Archer just beats people up in the background.
I'll be honest with you, I 100% missed this. I didn't even know what happened.
Your mug cake must have still been in the microwave.
Maybe.
All right, so we get Fat Jake Roberts. He's been spending too much time in the hotel room on Tony Khan's bill ordering fucking takeout, ordering DoorDash. But he's cutting a promo for Lance Archer. Lance Archer's just throwing people around in the locker room and eventually comes up to Jake Roberts and he's like, "Did you show him? Did you show him? Show him." And he rips Jake Roberts' shirt off. And Jake Roberts has written in magic marker on his fat, flabby back, "Everybody dies." And Lance Archer just screams, "Everybody dies, everybody dies." What the fuck was going on here?
You didn't have. Are you sure this happened? I'm gonna have to go back and check my DVR and rewatch this last couple seconds. This sounds amazing.
This is the worst shit I've seen tonight, and that's including fucking Fatty Monroe's hot pink one-piece suit.
Fatty Monroe. All right, well there you go. Everybody
this
dies.
was terrible. Everybody dies.
Listening to a Twisted album before they went out.
And then our main event of the night happens. Pockets Orange Cassidy versus Chris Flabby Gut Jericho.
Yeah. Up and down, this match was all right. It was what I expected, so I wasn't let down, if that makes sense. There were some good spots. I thought Cassidy actually kind of, I've never been the biggest hater against Orange Cassidy, but I didn't think he actually looked bad at some spots. I thought he made it look good. Jericho was working the style of match that needs to go with an Orange Cassidy performer. Back and forth. It was the ending.
I'm only going to shit on Orange Cassidy for one thing, and that's he's got the weakest, most girly punches I've ever seen from a male wrestler. He looks like Alexa Bliss fucking throwing punches. But where as much as I'm not going to hate on Orange Cassidy, all that hate goes to Chris Jericho. You got to remember he's supposed to be the best in the business. So all of a sudden, Chris Jericho completely forgot how to wrestle. honestly acting like an independent jobber in there and having Orange Cassidy as the tough guy and Jericho's the jobber, because Cassidy just manhandled him and did whatever he wanted for the first 2 minutes of the match before Jericho could even get one offensive move in. It was ridiculous. Jericho was supposed to be, he was the AEW world champion.
Right. He's Chris Jericho.
And
Love a Pete. B Jericho. I can't disagree with that. There's some spots. It was just they were working well together for the match that I knew I was going to get, is all I'm stating. I wasn't geeked by it. It wasn't like a WrestleMania moment for me.
yeah, he wasn't Jericho. And I think either Tony Schiavone or Jim Ross pointed that out, that, Jericho's kind of off his game tonight, but I think he was just moving like molasses on a manatee, man. He was just fucking slow.
And on that statement, I 100% give the fail of the finish to Jericho.
I just have in here Cassidy wins clean. What was fucked about the finish?
It just looked slow and clunky.
Oh yeah,
Jericho threw himself back before Cassidy really had him tied up, so it just looked like it was off. It looked like some trampoline style backyard wrestling gimmick that just was like, wait, you're doing what? And when you watch guys wrestle and then you're a kid and you try to do it to your brother, your cousin or something, and then it like doesn't go like the way you thought it would back when you were younger. That's what it looked like to me, is like the guy, they just didn't know what the next guy was doing, and Jericho fell before he was supposed to, but luckily Cassidy kind of cleaned it up and he gets the pin, but it just looked like,
to me, it looked like Chris Jericho was drunk.
He was just
somebody
he was trying to be a step ahead and try to carry it too much and wasn't giving Orange Cassidy enough credit, as much as he gets shit on for everything. I think they lost the flow, that very end spot. Go back and watch the end again.
I'm gonna have to, but
it's just
Jericho
clunky.
just
It's
flubbed
just
this match
clunky.
altogether. Even there was one spot where Cassidy's doing some springboard cutter or some shit, and Jericho was in the wrong spot, or Cassidy didn't springboard off enough, and Jericho had to lean into it, and it was just clunk fest. But
the finish was clunky, and it looked like it was supposed to be a fast pin, that whatever Taz called it, a mouse trap or something.
Yeah, I think he called it the mouse trap.
It was supposed to be fast, is the way I take it, like a quick schoolboy. Tie him up and get the pin. Well, it was like Jericho was on the ground, but then he laid there so Cassidy could finish what he was doing, but it was supposed to be getting tied up and then fall back into the pin. It was just done bad, and it just like didn't make any sense. I was like, I cringed, and then it was like he got the 3, and I went, oh my god, oh, that's over.
But I just want to put it out there now, because the way this match was booked and the way this match happened, and how Orange Cassidy completely out-wrestled Chris Jericho and did way more offensive moves, and Jericho was moving at a snail's pace, and that's even compared to the schlub pockets. You're right, Brian. Orange Cassidy now is a full-fledged main event star.
Oh, come on. I haven't said that yet. I said he's on his way.
He is officially, according to this match and the way this match is booked,
Beat the best in the world.
he is officially a better wrestler than Chris Jericho, because he didn't just sneak that win with the mousetrap. He out-wrestled Chris Jericho in this match. So we're saying he's officially a better wrestler than Chris Jericho. He now ranks up there with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just put him in the Hall of Fame right now. Orange Cassidy, full-fledged Hall of Famer, better than Chris Jericho. You heard it here, folks.
You heard it here. Yeah, well, I didn't quite say all those words. Don't put all that in my mouth. I said he's on his way to be something, but hopefully this match won't put him there.
He beat a Hall of Famer.
He beat a Hall of Famer. That was a drizzling shit of a match. It was good for what it was, but it ended terribly. And if it ends terribly for me, that's all I remember. Like, for me, that's the end. Like, if you can put a clunky match together and then come up with the last 3 minutes or the bomb, and you can get it together and come out tight, then I'm all in. But I did not feel that on this match. But what do I know?
Well, Jericho, he's kind of just been fucking up all over the place too. He's out there playing shows with Fozzy.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they're in like Iowa and North Dakota and South Dakota, but he played a fucking motorcycle rally
Yeah. Out there in
with no
Sturgis.
masks and no social distancing shit going on.
Yeah. I don't know.
And so he's out there rocking and rolling and having
Strutting,
thousands of
strolling.
people. So
Yeah. Jericho's a shithead these days. So
yeah,
hopefully-
so I don't know. He's feuding with
So-
Sebastian Bach. He's doing sing-offs, which aren't even these aren't even works. They're shoots with Sebastian Bach, and then he's out there playing Fozzy shows. Then he just puts on the worst match I've seen him in
Ever.
his AEW. Yeah, ever. This is the worst match I've seen Chris Jericho in.
Him and China like had better matches. Him and Stephanie McMahon had better matches.
He carried China. China was the drizzle of the shits, and he carried her. But it just looked like Orange Cassidy, who shouldn't be carrying anybody, just again because he's green as frog shit. Shouldn't have to carry Chris Jericho of all people.
No.
So I was highly disappointed. This was rough, and I don't know. We're gonna see where they go from here, but man, that is you don't expect something that bad from a veteran like Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got tonight. I'm about wrapped out and tapped out. You got anything else, Eric?
No, that was about it. You guys follow me on TikTok. That would be me and my dog Stella. We do retarded videos. I'm a little tired right now because there was a snafu in the middle there. You guys probably won't notice it too much. It'll be spliced together. But we had about a half an hour there where we had no video, no audio. So we had to.
Things
It
went
is
awry.
pushing midnight for
Yeah.
us, and we're both two middle-aged dads. So we're pretty tired right now, but you can catch me and Stella on TikTok at stella.hates.eric, or you can follow me on Instagram. It is all one word. Oh yeah, it's Eric.
Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, the KayFabe Smark, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Join the group, like the page. Head on over to anchor.fm/thekayfabesmark. Leave us a question. Do a question of the week. It doesn't even have to be a question. It can be a comment. It can be a whatever. Tell us a joke, something funny that you've seen, read, or heard. Just share something with us so we can chat and banter on the podcast, and we'll play it on there. Also, make sure you head on over to audibletrial.com/thekayfabesmark. Get yourself a free audiobook. Help us out. Help you out. All is good there. And that is it. Next week, we're probably going to do something a little different because I don't think we're going to have much to talk about. We'll have Raw and SmackDown to talk about, so maybe we'll pull up some watch-along things or do something a little different and swing for the fences because, or it'll just be a straight-up all NXT show. We can pay some love to that as it'll be their go-home show before the their pay-per-view. So because we won't have any AEW to chat about, so we'll give you guys something. It'll be fun. Make sure you check it out. Like, subscribe, give us a review, do all that fun stuff. Spotify, iTunes, you're already listening to us, so you know what's up with that. Till next week, Eric, we'll see you. We'll see me. Have a good one, guys.
Hootie hoo, we out the gates.
We out.
The KayFabe Smark Podcast.